Although the United States is one of the most developed countries in the world, the United States has a high rate of childhood poverty. According to the NCCP, or the National Center for Children in Poverty, about 50 million children, or 21% of all children, live in families with incomes lower than the federal poverty threshold. Poverty is the biggest problem that the education system here in America faces every day. Not only do impoverished students receive low standard education, but they also become victims to the lifestyle and burdens that hinder their ability to learn. Poverty and its disadvantages can impede learners and can often be very frustrating for them in the school environment. In this video, we will be looking at 3 ways in how poverty affects the education of students. One way poverty affects education is the lack of funding provided to deliver resources that is essential to students' education. Students in high poverty urban districts often receive an unfair advantage in the allocation of resources. Students from low-income families are at a greater risk of experiencing less experienced teachers, inferior infrastructures, and curriculum/programs incomparable to wealthier districts. In this video reported by Now This News, they investigate how the school district in Jonesville, Louisiana are distributing unequal funds between white majority schools and black majority schools.
This is their 2018-2019 budget. Jonesville has 3 schools that they're funding. This is the amount of revenue that's brought in for just Jonesville schools. Upkeep for the building and the grounds come out to be about $22,000. You have to divide that by 3 schools.
Is that enough money?
No, it's
for Block
not.
High School to get fixed?
No, not compared to the other schools. But you come to Harrisonburg. One school, they get a total of $20,000.
$20,000, whereas Block High School is getting like $7,000.
Yes.
Another way poverty affects education is the increase in the opportunity gap. Students of African American or Hispanic students often have limited access to these resources and opportunities that other students have. These students are often in disparity in academic outcomes. According to the Pew Research Center, their study shows that although American children living in poverty has declined, the poverty rate for Hispanic and black children changed very little. Although whites and Asian students have lowered, the rate for black children held steady at 38%. It is unfortunate that different circumstances that people are born, such as their race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and others, determines their opportunities in life, rather than all people having an equal opportunity to achieve to their best potential. Another way how education affects poverty is the perception of students from low-income families. It is of great importance that teachers should change their expectations and perception when teaching students of low socioeconomic status. According to the article, Confronting the Racism of Low Expectation by Julie Landsman, it is interesting to see how the author reported of teachers expecting nothing but goodness from white children, even if they display negative behavior. Yet they have negative assumptions on black and Hispanic children. Teachers often expect students of black and Hispanic descent to not have the ability to achieve the best they can. Let's take a look at this important scene from Coach Carter and see what the principal set expectations are for her students.
No, ma'am, I have no idea.
We're a 1, Mr. Carter, and have been for the last 7 years. The state rewards schools for their performance, so every year I have less money to pay faculty and staff.
Look, ma'am,
Can I ask what it is you want, Mr. Carter?
I want my boys to go to college.
College? Mr. Carter, Richmond graduates 50% of its students, the higher percentage being girls. Now, in my very educated opinion, you have 15 players on your team. You'll be lucky to graduate 5 of them.
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't agree with you. Now, look, these boys signed contracts. Maybe if you'd read one of them...
Your job is to win basketball games, Mr. Carter. I suggest you start doing your job.
And your job is to educate these kids. I suggest you start doing yours.
From this scene, it is imperative to rethink how we teach and expect from the students so that we can create a better connection and better understanding with these students. Now that we have seen 3 ways in how poverty affects education, it seems such a daunting task to help turn things around for better equity. But society can help impoverished children by fighting for better housing options or better funding for equal education and learning programs. There should be increased federal funding to supplement these inequities along with equitable public school finance system. Importantly, teachers should expect nothing but the best from their students, as they should better understand them and doing their best to create the best education environment for the impoverished children.